Hey guys, this is John again from BMW Temple. Wanted to thank y'all for tuning in. Wanted to remind y'all if y'all can like and subscribe, please. It definitely helped me out. Today we're going to be going over the BMW X3 M Competition. So definitely a pretty cool vehicle and one of my absolute favorites as far as this size of a vehicle. Now, as you can see with the competition model, you do get more of the extended shadow line built into the vehicle. So you will have the all black front kidney grills to the car. You will also have the black breather ports through the side with the M badging there on. Now this one in particular does have the M wheels that are the 21-inch V-spoke styles that you get with the competition model. Taking a look at the back here, with the competition model you still get the blacked out badging here with it says X3 M Competition. Now a little bit on the X3 M Comp. It's kind of a new model that BMW came out with to test it out, just to kind of compete with some of the auto performance. As you know, BMW is a performance vehicle and like to stretch a little bit of that DNA across all their lines. Now with the competition here in the back, you do get the M quad exhaust as you see with the competition. There are going to be black tip exhaust there. And then you will also get the M spoiler at the very top. Now with the X3 M Competition, this one will have your M-Tune X-Drive system. So for BMW, X-Drive just means all-wheel drive. And with it being M, basically you have different kind of settings you can go through to be able to tune it to your exact liking of how you want to use the vehicle. If you want it for more everyday driving, you can have a little bit more or less aggressive. Or if you want to kind of use it and to use it what it was bred for there and have it more of a sportier drive, then definitely you can have a what they call a sport all-wheel drive X-Drive for BMW. So with the vehicle here, like I said, we are going to have the 21-inch upgraded wheels. Now these will be the 255/40 R21s, and with the M models you do get the M Sport brake calipers. Now on the front of these are going to be your 4-piston brakes in the front and 2 in the rear. But then you can see, to be able to cool down this braking system, they're going to be full ventilated front disc on the car. And then same with the back. As we go to the back, you will then see once again the brake calipers with the full ventilated disc. Now with a lot of the M models, I know you can upgrade on them to the ceramics, but on non-M models, the M Sport brakes is usually an upgrade. But like I said, with the competition model and the M models, you definitely will go ahead and get that standard on the car. Now with the X3M, this one's going to be pushing out 503 horsepower with 442 pound-feet of torque. Now with the competition model, you will be pushing to 0-60 in 4 seconds flat. Now if you get just the X3M, you will be pushing 4.1. So a little bit of a difference as far as 0-60 goes and horsepower between the X3M and the competition. Now this one will also be powered by your 3.0 inline-6 twin-scroll turbo engine. So BMW still sticks true to their twin-scroll turbo engines for the vehicle. A little bit smaller displacement, but definitely the amount of power you can push out with this car is truly incredible. Now, as you know, BMW prides themselves on a almost near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. And on this X3M, it's, like I said, almost near perfect. On the distribution of weight on this vehicle was 50.1 in the front and 49.9 on the rear. So I'm telling you, if you put this vehicle almost on an axis in the middle of the vehicle, it will almost self-balance. So just kind of let you know, kind of going back to the sportiness of how you have more control of the vehicle. If you were to accelerate, you will, you won't have a huge rock back in motion. And then if you were to come to a full stop on the car, you won't have your typical nosedive that you'll get on most cars. This vehicle will then sit down on itself. Now, with this one here, it does not have the M driver's package, so electronically, it's going to be, the top speed will be limited to 155 miles per hour. Now, if you do get the M driver's package, you will get the increased top speed limiter to up to 177. Now, if you will, let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood here, guys. Taking a look underneath the hood, guys, you're going to see your 3.0 inline-6 twin-scroll turbo M-powered engine. This one's going to be putting out 503 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque, and 0 to 60 in 4.0 seconds. So looking underneath here, you will see this aluminum bracing there to kind of help with rigidity of the vehicle. So if you were to go around corners a little bit harder, or kind of use it in the sporty aspects of the car, you can have full stabilization while driving this vehicle. It reduces excess body lean, and kind of overall helps you keep full control. In addition to the aluminum bracing, you will see the full steel bracings there tied to the front of the vehicle as well, just to kind of overall, like I said, can keep you in place. With the 503 horsepower in this vehicle, it's nice to be able to have something that can be fully control of its own power. Now, you will, on most of the X3s, you will have what they call active kidney grills. With the M models, you will have fully open front kidney grills, just to help with the air intakes of this vehicle. Now, this vehicle will have some intercoolers as well. As you can see on the bottom of the M Sport grill here, you will see another intercooler, a radiator, and another intercooler on this side. So definitely trying to cool down this engine to kind of give you the stop and go performance of the car with top speed performance as well. Now, underneath the hood, most of the stuff will be kind of covered up, but you will have access to certain points. But with the M models, it's all about the get up and go of these cars. You can definitely see the air intake for this vehicle. I mean, definitely you got to feed that engine to be able to cool it down and kind of increase the horsepower of the car. Now, take a look. You will see some sound dampening material just to kind of keep the cabin quiet when you need it, if you're going to use it as your daily driver. But the good thing is with the different driving modes and the M Sport exhaust, you can definitely, have it as sporty as you want whenever you're trying to, have a little bit of fun in the car. Now, closing up this vehicle here, this one will have your dual clutch 8-speed Steptronic transmission. So definitely you can use it in automatic mode for a daily commute, or if you want to see what kind of power it has, definitely be able to hold those gears. Almost like a true manual would definitely help out. The way BMW's trends are starting to go is more towards the dual clutch transmission, just because the system can shift faster than a human naturally could. So definitely those shifting points are going to play a big part of this vehicle and your overall speed. Now, with the vehicle too, you do get these standard BMW adaptive LED lighting. So they will kind of corner around curves for you and auto level. You will have your full parking sensors on the car as well. Now, this particular vehicle that we have not only is a competition model, but we'll have the executive package. So when we go on the interior of the vehicle, I definitely would give you some shots of what that executive package entails on the car. Now, with this one here, you will see it does have your parking assistance plus, and basically that just gives you the frontal camera on the vehicle, and then you do get 2 side cameras underneath the mirrors. So it definitely gives you kind of like that bird's eye view with self-parking capabilities. Now, let's go ahead and start up this vehicle and see what it sounds like. Alright guys, so definitely engine noise is awesome. I did funnel through the different driving modes that we have, just so you can kind of notice a little bit of the deeper tones that you do have. So in comfort mode, you're gonna have your normal sound to the M exhaust, but when you do put in Sport and Sport Plus mode, you will definitely be able to hear a pitch difference, kind of open up the growl of the car. Now with the M models, it's all about performance. It's all about get in there as fast as you can in the form of racing. So definitely aerodynamics is going to play a huge factor in this car. So once again, kind of like I touched on the coolers of the vehicle, but you definitely have a lot of aggressiveness here on the bottom of the front bumper. That just helps kind of reduces drag on the car, and kind of reduces the amount of wind resistance you're going to get. On the hood here, you will definitely see some body lines. I know it's a little bit harder on the white, but definitely see some body lines just to kind of push the wind away from the vehicle. Now, as you look here on the side, definitely the body lines flows throughout the entire back of the vehicle. And then these here are actually functioning air curtains. So as the air passes through the side, it will then pass through the back of the wheel, and then kind of create almost like a vortex to disperse throughout the bottom of the car. Unfortunately, the side air vents here are not functioning. They're there for aesthetic purpose, but I do feel like it would be a little bit better if they were to make those functioning. Now, different than any other model, you do have the M mirror caps, like you can see across all M models. So once again, kind of reducing the pressure here that's going to be coming through. It kind of pushes it throughout the side and pushes it down the body lines of the vehicle. You will have your bottom curtain as well to reduce overall wind drag on the car. And as you come in the back, like I said, that M spoiler is then going to push all that air over. So once again, in the back, you're not getting a pressure that's kind of then building back the vehicle. Now, at the very bottom, you'll have this right here to create downforce, just so you can still have full stabilization on the vehicle. Now let's go and take a look inside. So taking a look inside the vehicle, guys, this is going to be the Alpine white exterior, but with the leather merino Alcantara combination that we do have. You will have the carbon fiber trim on the vehicle, which definitely, it's one of my personal favorites. You'll get the contrast stitching throughout the car. Definitely, puts a little nice touch just to break up a lot of the color on here. And then you will have the contrast stitching throughout the seat. Now with the M models, you do get the M Performance seats that definitely has a little bit of the higher bolsters just to kind of keep it tucked in. And cool thing too is these do illuminate, so that way when you do open up your vehicle, a little bit noticeable at nighttime, but they will illuminate the M badging to the car. With the M model as well, you still get your M steering wheel with the M tricolor stitching on the steering wheel there. Now new for the X3M in general, and across most models, is going to be these M modes that they labeled in red versus having them traditionally on the steering column itself. All right, so let's go and hop in and take a look. So starting up the BMW X3M. This does not have iDrive 7, so it still sticks with iDrive 6 for its software, but it does have a different view just because it is the M model. To the right of the screen where your tachometer is, you will see the yellow and red lines. That will then kind of let you know your revving limits, and as far as the engine being able to be cool or warm enough to be able to use performance. So usually on a cold start, your yellow line will be right around just right below the 5,000 RPM. But as it starts warming up, it will drastically come down. So that way it'll let you know, okay, you're fully ready to use the vehicle. Now up top, they did add some additional options to where you can kind of get a visual of which one you're trying to, what mode you're actually in. Just because here you can adjust your odometer to where you can have efficient, sport, or Sport Plus. And what ultimately that does is not only does it affect your shifting points in the transmission if you're using automatic mode, but then it does open up the damper inside the exhaust, so that way it increases a deeper exhaust note. Right. And then you can, in the middle there, you see comfort. It was then going to adjust your suspension, so you can go for a comfortable ride. You can tune it with the adaptive suspension to give you more sportiness. And then Sport Plus is just overall if you're just trying to push the car a little bit harder and you want it to absorb a lot of those bumps. Same with the steering feel. You still have comfort steering, sport steering, Sport Plus, and throughout those different ones, it either softens up the steering of the car, or tightens up the steering, just to that way you don't reduces oversteering of the vehicle and you have full control of the car. Taking a look at the steering wheel here, like I said, you do have your M steering wheel, but you will have your heated steering wheel in the car, and that will go ahead and be a part of your executive package. What you do get in your executive package, you're going to get the rear manual shades for the back. You'll also get front and heated rear seats. You will get the parking assistance plus, so we'll kind of go over that in a few. You do get the heads-up display, wireless charging, gesture control, and rear view camera. Rear view camera is kind of standard, but they do state that in the executive package. But one of the things I like about BMW's heads-up displays is how custom it can be. So that way, if you were to put it maybe in M2 mode, you then see the different, you do get a tack on the car. Sorry about that, guys. You do get a tack reading up there with the speed limit and current speed information. Or if we just go back to normal mode, it just kind of condenses it there for you. It's very informative as well. There's this track wheel you can use on the steering wheel that you can then do different station functions in M2 mode. If you wanted to have that M heads-up display, you will then lose the ability to view like your different stations on there, but then it does come down here to your driver's cluster. So that way, if you're kind of overall for sport of the vehicle, it kind of just leaves everything condensed and less busy up there for you. Once again, we do have the iDrive 6, so it is touchscreen, which a lot of people do like. You do get your 6 tiles that where you can kind of custom as well to you like the M carbon fiber trim. They are starting to push the new auto start stop button in red, which is, you know, just kind of keep with the sport theme on the car, which I personally like. You do have your driver assistance BMW Connect Your Drive system. So that basically your frontal collision, pedestrian detection, blind spot lane departure warning. Down here at the bottom will be your climate functions. Now this vehicle is equipped with ventilated seats. I always get a lot of customers asking for the ventilated seats. It's kind of interesting that BMW doesn't put it on that often, but you know, it's just my personal opinion. Down here you do have your X3 M Competition badging, almost kind of like a piano black style finish on here with your carbon fiber high gloss. Now this is going to be your dual clutch transmission. This style started in the M5 and it's now working its way throughout most of the M models. So to put it in reverse, you slide it to the left, push up, almost like a manual, and now you're in reverse. And you will have your full 360 view, part of your parking assistance package, with your reverse camera. Now to put this in gear, you'll pull back. Now you're neutral. Slide to the right. Okay, now you see DS on. So to let you know here, in the middle instrument cluster, you can see a 1 directly in the middle. That's in manual mode for the dual clutch transmission. Now if we were to slide it to the right, now you can see the 1D. 1 letting you know your current gear, and D is just letting you know that you're in automatic mode. Now to the right of that, that's going to be your shifting points for the car, depending on how aggressive or least aggressive you want the car to shift. So usually for everyday driving, most of the time most people toggle down all the way to just the 1 bar. So then that way you can have, you know, just normal driving for the car. And then to put the vehicle in park, there is a P icon here. You just hit the P, and then now it'll put you in park. Down here is those different switches that you can use for the shifting, for your suspension, and for your steering. This can be whether or not you want your exhaust note on or off. So if I disable that, it's going to be a little bit more quiet. This then enables your 360 camera, but then also with the 360 camera, it does enable self-parking as well, to where you can parallel or reverse particular park. This is going to use your last camera that you use in the car, and also this is going to be your hill descent control. Your parking brake is going to be electronic. To engage, you pull up, push down to disengage, and the light will then turn off. Auto H is like a temporary parking brake. Now before, with BMW's iDrive, you used to have to control everything by this iDrive dial. But now with it being touchscreen, they still leave it there, the iDrive dial here, just in case if you find like that a little more convenient for you to use. With this vehicle too, you do get the full panoramic moonroof, so I'm gonna step out here so we can take a look at the moonroof. So you still get the full panoramic moonroof that goes all the way to the rear. That way your back passengers get a a nice view. Today it's a little overcast with some slight rain, but hopefully it stays pretty. On back here, once again, you do get the rear manual shades for the car. So then you'll just lock them into place, and then you'll have a little bit of shade to beat out some of the Texas heat. Even if you were to go ahead and get a little bit more darker tint on the vehicle, nice to be able to block out at least as much heat as you can. Harman Kardon will be standard on this vehicle, which definitely helps out because I personally love to listen to music while I drive. That's kind of one of the first things I do in all my vehicles. So it's nice that you do have a 16 speaker audio system that's standard that puts out about 600 watts. Now back here in the back, just like most X3s, you do have the rear recliner seats where you lift this up here and it will be able to recline your seats back. Still getting the contrast stitching with the double tone interior, contrast stitching here in the middle. Rear passengers will be able to have their own climate functions and heated rear seats. Cool.